debatably. We'll see. I'll say
Yeah.
that. Did you want to? Are you trying to learn Air Spirit, or like just in general? Like, are you trying to learn a new hero, or what's? I guess what's the deal with that?
Well, I mean, Earthspirit's cool. I'd be keen to like, rejected rage request to join my party. Should I do that?
Or what? Oh no,
Reject.
just because we're gonna play a game after this, so I just want to keep it between us, if that's okay. Rager, I know you're in the chat,
Oh
so
yeah,
I feel very bad right now, but I have to say no, no, no. He's
yeah.
mad. You're playing
Well,
Go.
like, I want to get higher MMR because, like, I don't know, I'm sick of playing in my MMR bracket. I feel like I could definitely play at a higher one. I just need to figure out how to get there.
Yeah.
You know?
I will say
Yeah.
I gained like 1,400 MMR from playing Air Spirit. Like I went from 3.6 to 5K. Not from spamming him religiously. And overall, I think I've understood the game at a point where if you drop me back down and then you said play a different hero, I could do it. But Air Spirit
Yeah.
was the hero that I like. I'm not joking, dude. I've went on like 17 game win streaks with this hero. Like he's definitely a hero that you can play to climb. But I will say that I understand that if you want to play a different hero, support sometimes doesn't feel fulfilling enough to me sometimes. And so like I'll play core on occasion. I don't really mind. That makes sense.
Yeah. For me, it's more just like a hero that's constantly team fighting. I don't like carries that AFK farm.
Yeah.
So it's like, I want to be in like team fights regularly. So that's generally supports or utility kind of cores kind of thing.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of fun to being in team fights too that some heroes like would lack if they. Because I was gonna say like you said you just got to 3K and that got me giddity. That got me like kind of giddy. I think is the word. I got kind of hyped because I was like, dude, I actually calibrated in 3K myself, and like the way that
Yeah.
I got from 3 to 3.6K was playing Terrorblade and like in jungle. Now that was a long time ago, and like the heroes were like way better back then. But I would still say playing like in jungle is a really good way to gain MMR. And I was gonna say if you wanted to, we could do that. But he's kind of AFK. The way that I played him like a ratter. So like I never really joined
Yeah.
team fights, and like I really enjoy that style of play. But I understand it's definitely a turnoff to some other people. And I'm not telling you that we have to play Lycan or learn Lycan or anything like that. I'm just saying like there's a
Yeah.
lot of things that you can do and maximize and be efficient with Lycan jungle. And I know that at 3K alone, you can take games off people just because you know how to farm properly, take Roche properly, time it, take it again, and take towers.
Yeah, definitely. The other thing that's going on right now is I'm like not on a losing streak, but like there was a period when I was winning about literally 80 to 90% of my games
Yeah.
for like a month,
Yeah.
and then now it's just like really average. Like on 6.86F, I was on a 90% win rate on Invoker for
Yeah.
30 games, and then now I'm like constantly losing, and I don't really know what's going on, but
Yeah.
it's happening.
No, I get you. And
So yeah,
yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about actually if I don't know if you're in the replay, but I'm in the replay and I'm at
all right.
yeah. So we'll just talk about some things real quick.
I'll get into I'll open a Twitch stream. That's actually probably
Yeah.
better, and I'll just mute
Yeah,
it.
that's totally fine. Whatever you choose to do, I'm just gonna tell you the things that like I mean you played this game earlier today, so maybe you remember, maybe it's somewhat fresh in your mind, but I'll just talk about some things. First and foremost, your build, it's really indicative of playing like the 4 and like just saying like fuck somebody needs to play like hard 5. Like you're getting one ward and that's it, and that's totally fine if somebody's
Yeah.
down to play hard 5. But Phoenix is somebody that I would say is a good hard 5, and this guy had to go like straight bitch support doing it. I think like he had to boy.
Yeah.
You guys, and another, this is actually a big problem is you guys don't have sentries. That's the big thing here. Is that like if this was any other
Yeah.
composition, I wouldn't mind if you only bought one ward, he bought the ward in the courier, and you guys just went to lane like that. But not having a sentry against a Phoenix or against a Weaver is really. One sec. Yeah.
To be honest, I was actually really surprised that the Weaver was offlane. I assumed that the Lifesteal was going to AFK jungle and the Weaver would be safe lane and Earthshaker offlane.
I see.
Like that was like my expectation going into the game, and then it changed, obviously. But yeah,
I see. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that because in some like it's solo queue and especially at 3K, I just was like, yeah, I wouldn't doubt that these kids would jungle. But at the same time, starting sentries is never a bad thing. So I'll hopefully I can show my
Yeah.
example. I can't show my example here because your opponents are pretty bad. Did they even buy wards? I wonder if they even bought wards at the start. No, they did, but where did they place them? It doesn't look like Weaver has any wards, so he's kind of in a interestingly precarious situation where he just doesn't have any wards to look after himself. Maybe he just thought that because you guys were gonna buy sentries, even though you didn't, he was just like, oh, don't give me wards because they'll just get sentries and kill me and the ward too. But I'm looking at, let me just check their vision. They have to have wards on the map because they bought them, the Dire. Yeah, they have one. No, this is your guys' ward. Can I check their shop? I don't know. Well, we're just gonna assume that they have wards. Nah, they have one ward. in their shit. So somebody has a ward and just Lion has a ward. So you're playing against bad players, but let's just assume these guys were good players, or even like remotely. I think even 3K, you can expect people to buy boards and place them early game. Starting sentries allows you to like deny that if you're predictive enough of it, and it's kind of like a meta thing. It's kind of like a game knowledge thing. Like you got to be smart about where you place your sentries. But if you get like an early ward, it's almost game winning. Like against an offlaner, if you deny his ward vision, you get 50 gold, 100 exp that you're probably gonna split between you and like your carry. You're probably just gonna give your carry everything. Like it's a free bounty room basically. It's extra. Yeah. It's 100 extra exp and 50 gold. It's really like the ward change that they made for dewarding is like sick. It's crazy, but not more so than just killing the ward, because like killing the ward's nice and getting the exp and gold is nice. More so, you're denying them vision and making them have to play more safely. Like if they don't play more safely, you have the threat of just jumping on them and killing them. Which all the while, by the way, you can be mid ganking. You don't need to apply pressure on them specifically. It's just placing that sentry there and denying their vision is, all applying the pressure. But definitely in this game, I would have bought sentries for the Weaver. Mostly, he would have been my primary target. Like I would have bought sentries for this Weaver, and if he was even jungling, I would go in the jungle and drop sentries. Like I'm just kidding there, but Weaver can't jungle. But like I would go to any lane that I would take the time out of my day to go to any fucking lane and drop sentries, or I would just give the person sentries at the start of the game. I'd be like, Zeus, take the sentry, just in case he goes mid, because I have seen mid. There's a guy named Fred J who has like 2,500 Weaver games, and I play with him sometimes in my solo queue games. He sucks, but I play with him. Yeah, you'd think that after 2,500 games he'd be good. I'm just kidding. He's not actually that bad. I'm sorry, but whenever I do play with him, I'm like always like I look for his lane and I just fucking plant sentries, because every single time it fucks him up. It doesn't super fuck him up. Like they'll know how to play around it, but it makes their game plan harder. It always deters them. Sentries are always going to be a deterrent. I play a lot of brood. I've got like I've got like 150 brood games, and every time I get sentried, I get mad. Like so much so that I've started buying sentries at the start of the game to counter their sentries, and then it's always like whoever can click the quickest. So that's my rant about sentry wards. I'm not trying to like oversell them. I just think they're really good to buy pretty much in every game. And I've actually strayed away from buying Orb of Venom first buy on Earth Spirit. Even though it's really good, it's super good to get the sentry. And I think I don't know. I know that Purge does it. He played Earth Spirit in a video, and he bought Orb of Venom first item. I don't know. I'm not trying to like say that you got this from somebody, but like where did you? I'm just wondering where you got the idea to get the Orb of Venom at the start of the game. Because I used to do it a lot.
I'm pretty sure it's from you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it was from one of your YouTube channel videos, like when you showed your starting items on Spirit, like a couple of months ago.
Fuck.
Or last year, maybe.
I'm like, as much as I am flattered, I'm also like scared now. Because like I don't even do that anymore. But okay, then let me explain that. So when I did, I am flattered, by the way, absolutely flattered. That's so sick. When I did make that video, I was in a moment in time where I was just like, I was trying to figure out like super like niche things about safe lane support Earth Spirit that like you can maximize to like play super consistently. And I figured out, and over I think at least 200 to 300 games now playing him, probably 300 to 400 at this point. I played a lot more safe lane support Earth Spirit games I think than I have offlane, but I played a lot of offlane back when it was super good. At 6185.
Yeah.
But playing him safe lane support, I think the consistent play is to start sentries, because no matter what, you get to deny their vision if you're smart about it. If you get to lane quick enough, if you watch for the sentry or for where they were. So I do think, I'm not trying to harp on it too much, but I know that I just spent like 5 minutes talking about it, but I do think starting sentries is the play. Getting the Orb of Venom from the side shop is probably better. You'll get it quick enough.
Yeah.
And starting smoke is also really good. But all right. So with that being said, though, I'm watching these plays, and it looks like you roamed mid. That was super good. Just in general, I think most of your movements here have been pretty good. I think you may have been a little bit too obvious in this lane that you were in, where you were bottom. Like you, to put it best, you were just like there. You were just obvious. You were just like seeable. They never had any sort of doubt where you were. The Weaver never had to think twice about like getting a last hit, because he knew exactly where you were, so he knew his danger threat. But if you were I'll even show it. You go to lane, and then you just kind of, like, I'm going to go to his vision just to further cement the point that I'm trying to prove here. But, like, he sees you this entire time. Never has to worry at all. He doesn't see the Phoenix, but, like, you throw a rollout, but it's super obvious and telegraphed, so he knows where to dodge. Like, even if he doesn't see the Phoenix, he knows how to play because you're just right there. What you should be doing, in my opinion, especially if you want to get a kill, is standing over here in the trees, or just, somewhere similar. Just being kind of invisible. You can stand on this side if you want to. I know you were kind of veering towards this side, so you can stand like right over here too if you want to. You just gotta stay out of sight so that he gets out of sight, out of mind. You know, he forgets about you, or he just thinks that you moved.
Yeah.
He's like, he gets to the point where he's thinking, man, he must have left by now. He's been here for so long, like he can't be here still. And then you just roll on him and you kill him. Like it's crazy. But you have no pressure if you show yourself constantly. I guess is what I'm.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I kind of decided to give up on that lane because I felt like I didn't need to be there.
Yes.
Like to secure the Sven farm.
Yes.
I just figured I might as well just go kill the Zeus or... Oh, my mate was playing the Slardar solo offlane, and I knew he was having trouble with that.
Yeah, that's a very correct response. I like that a lot. Urspirit is typically not the kind of hero to babysit a hero in lane. And you got... I mean, look, you roamed and you got a kill on that lane, so that was great. I mean... Like, if there's ever a hero to prove my point here, I think it is Urspirit. Urspirit's like the quintessential definition of a shit lane support, but a great roamer. You are melee, and you don't really have any way of, like, harassing them, I guess. You're only kind of all in. You know, you roll in, you get autos, you stun him, you get more autos, you slow him with the Orb of Venom, and your W. It's like you're all in. You're not like, who's a good melee harasser?
Yeah, no. Awkward.
Yeah, no. Abaddon kind of like a harassy kind of base support. Even though he's melee, he puts shield on people and then shield pops and then it harasses people. But Darkseer's a great example. Darkseer doesn't all in people; he just harasses them with Iron Shell, you know. But Urspirit does not do that. Urspirit is the quintessential definition of I'm all inning the fuck out of people. So with that being said, yeah, you want to roam, you want to make that like global presence of I could be in your lane at any second, Zeus. I could butt fuck you right now. I could kill you. You know, same thing with Lich, same thing with Lion, like you did. It's great, you know. Like, and I do appreciate that you're roaming around. This is great. Also, this is kind of fun in my opinion. I always like the idea of roaming. But definitely,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, it's a more fun playstyle, I think. But like, there's nothing funner than just killing a Zeus, like you just did. Like, it's super good. Just rolling on him, hit it, stun him, hit it, Pudge uses dismember, and then you just got that kill. You know he's mad. You know he's raging at his team. It's crazy. But I don't know. I kind of like that aspect. So you're 1-0-2 right now, and you're doing a great job. You're watching over the rune for your Pudge, getting in that illusion rune, sick stuff. Your item progression, I think you're going in first. I actually completely like her in first now. I used to always spam her. No.
Oh, yeah. I stopped the urn because of the Pudge was grabbing one. Like, he got one before I had to farm for it.
Yeah.
But I thought the mana regen would be good because I'm running around with no clarities.
I don't think that.
Yeah.
I don't think that casual Sage's Mask is good, but I do think that the idea of like you were gonna get an urn, and I think that idea is good. At this point, I'd probably turn into like a Basilius or something. Like, if you ever need mana, by the way, just ferry a Mango or preferably a Clarity. Like, I mean, you know, you don't want to use the courier too much, but if you do need mana, I'd recommend that because Urspirit, like, his mana pool gets filled right up with a Clarity. It gives you 2 rounds of spells. One Clarity pretty much always gives you enough mana for two full combos of your Q and then your W. Because you don't want to use your E too much early game, you know.
Yeah.
But this is good. You got your arcane boots and stuff, and now you're like a roam machine. Like, you'll never ever not get a kill, or at least you'll never ever not have enough mana to just kill somebody. So you're always going to be a threat here. Okay, and then Pudge is nice, good stun. You're playing this pretty well, honestly. I can't correct too much right now, off the top of my head, other than the starting item choices that I was talking to you about, and like, you know, not showing yourself too much in lane. I'm watching this.
Yeah, and the sentry thing was a thing. Honestly, like, the Weaver was never... I just wanted to kill the Zeus all game. We've been losing to Zeuses a lot.
Yeah.
Every single ranked game I play has a Zeus.
Yeah.
And it's just... No one seems to do anything about it, and he just wins the game for them in 20 minutes because of the damage output.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. That's what he does. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I found that even though I didn't used to think this, I found that Zeus actually scales pretty good in the late game too when he gets Octarine and gets Octarine, Aether, Veil.
Yeah.
He always is a damage.
Yeah,
threat.
definitely Volda.
Yeah. You need either a pipe
Volda magic buffs.
Yeah, all the buff to magic damage dealers. Yeah, I completely agree. You need in my opinion, you need a pipe or you need a BKB. You know what I mean? Like, your carries need BKBs, and you probably need pipes. You probably won't need to get it this game, but just because I totally like, you guys are 7-2 right now, and you guys are shitting on this kid. I don't see him being that much of a threat because you're doing good roams. Okay, that was an interesting play. I will say, this is a small mistake that I can point out here, but it turned out okay. But yeah. So here, okay, I want to talk about this. So you have a stone in the bank, and you have 3 seconds on your next stun. And so what you're doing here is you're standing here waiting to kick him with this stone when you could just be falling. You have 2 stones in the bank. You could just be falling with the stone, and this is a really risky stun right here that I did not expect to hit. but I mean it hit because you didn't dodge enough, and it ended up being okay because you got the kill anyways. But because you waited that long to like stun, you didn't actually propagate your Ebola again, your ulti. It didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was overall that was a mistake. But generally speaking, I mean you got the kill anyways. But I'm just saying that could have been really bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, well, I had to roll in further because of that as well. I
Yeah.
was tanking the tower.
yeah.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But overall, this is pretty solid. I don't know. I think I might even like go with Vlad's because you got the Sage's Mask already, or get like a Basie. Basie wouldn't be bad if you find yourself with a Sage's Mask already. I'm not telling you to get it on Nurse
Oh,
Spirit.
true.
Yeah, I'm not saying like always get it in your games. I just mean like it wouldn't be terrible this
Yeah.
game by any means. You got Sven, you got Slaughter, you have even Pudge likes to right click.
Radiant's bottom
I think I ended up just selling it for slots.
Yeah, that's also a good option.
But yeah, but me and the Phoenix had a big conversation here where he took forever to reply or whether or not he was going to get Greaves.
Yeah,
Like, so I think I ended up deciding I was going to go for the pipe and he was going to get the mech.
I see. That's good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say otherwise you want to get Buckler first, but I think you already know that.
Yeah. No, I remember you saying in one of your videos. I think that's when I found out.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was watching the Shanghai Major actually, because Puppy walks around with Buckler for 40 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, it's a really good item. It's very underrated. 2 armor to everybody on your team is insane. Plus the armor and stats that it already
Yeah.
gives you. It's like a Vlad's, or it's like a Basie that stacks, and Basie's a really good item too, because Basie gives you 2 armor, your team 2 armor. It helps pushes a lot. Buckler's super good. Well, you're doing most of this right. Here, let me check. See about wards. See about smoke. I'd really like to see you buy some smokes to put them on cooldown. There's 2 wards in the shop. There's 3 smokes. I'd like to see you get some smokes. Smoke's actually
Yeah.
like really underrated item this patch. It got halved in price and like
Dire's top tower
it's
is under attack.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't do nearly often enough. I definitely know about it. It's just I never know when's a good time to smoke.
Yeah.
And every time I buy a smoke and like kind of like every time someone buys a smoke, everyone's like, "Oh, what? We're smoking," and then they assemble it from all sides of the map, and we dip around for 45 seconds
Yeah.
to get smoked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that's the problem I have with it. But like I know it's a good thing to do, but
Oh.
it's just try and time it well. I guess I should always have one on it so I could just
I was gonna say yeah.
walk into things.
A quick fix to that, like you just said, is always having one on you, or ideally, right? You always have one on you, but if you don't have the slots, then you can put it on the courier, and just if somebody ferries an item out, there's a good chance that they're ferrying a big item. So like the Sven will just get his BKB, and then you'll be like, "Hey Sven, not only do you have your BKB, but I have a smoke on the courier, and it's right here because you just got your BKB." You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's a very cute thing.
Yeah.
Just having a smoke on the courier at all times is a very important thing. Also, this is a big part of smoke that not a lot of people realize. When you buy a smoke, you put the item on cooldown, just like wards. So even if
Yeah.
you buy a smoke and you don't use it for the next 4 minutes, you're still making more smokes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Nah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
late.
like having 4 wards and a shop.
Yeah, exactly. Like you don't, and it's not even exactly like that because wards start with 2 out of 4. Smokes start with 3 out of 3. So I always start a game with a smoke. Like absolutely, I pretty much.
Right, true.
Very rarely will I
Yeah.
not start a game with a smoke because you just want to create as many smokes. Smoke is an overpowered item by far. Like it has a shot cooldown. That's usually how I determine whether or not an item's overpowered, is if it has a shot cooldown. But like the problem with it used to be that like you just couldn't really afford it too often early game because it was just such a huge gold investment of 100 gold. Like that was a big deal. I'm not gonna lie, that was quite an expensive item to get. But then they have the price, and now I mean fuck, I'd get smoke as an offlaner if I felt like I was confident to be able to roam mid and get a kill early game. Like it's a really good item right now, and I think buying it in the early game is definitely worth it, even if you don't use it for the first 12 minutes, because you create smokes in that case. Because in 12 minutes, another smoke will have respawned. So you'll buy a smoke, you won't use it for 12 minutes, and then you're entering the mid game with 4 smokes instead of just 3. So then you can make you can make more Roshan calls. You can make more smoke into their jungle calls. You can go put wards up safely. There's a lot of good things you can do with a smoke, even if you don't use it for 12 minutes. So don't think that starting a smoke is bad. Well, my tip, if you want the updated build, I should probably make a video about this because it is not like it's not intuitive if you watch my YouTube channel alone, which I don't think you do, but like some people definitely do. What I do
That's
now,
how I started.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Until I found your Twitch stream.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's why I feel bad about this. If I had to make a revision, it would be every game I try to buy both wards because I don't think anybody knows how to ward in Dota, like, so I just don't trust them. So I'd rather buy the wards, spend the extra 50 gold and buy the wards myself because I don't know about you, but like I read lanes. Like If I think a lane is gonna need a lane ward, like my mid is gonna need a lane ward, I'll give him the fucking ward. I'll say, hey, like I don't need this ward right now. I don't need to ward a rune spot. I need this guy to be safe, so I'll give him the ward. And then obviously I always give my offlaner the ward. Sometimes if I'm greedy and they don't need it, then I'll keep it and then I'll do something with it. But like you got to think intelligent. Like if you're just autopiloting with wards and you're just like, okay, buy a ward the rune spot because that's standard. Do it every game, no matter what, autopilot. Then maybe not buy the wards. Maybe have your other support buy the wards because maybe he can use them better. But I buy the wards because I feel like I'm a good warder. Like I played so many support games to not know how to ward at this point. To be embarrassed if I didn't know how to word. So I do think I know how to word. So I always try to buy every word I can, sentries included if I need them. But anyways, I harp too much on that. What I'm trying to say is I start every game 2 wards. Try to get sentries if you can justify it. But if you really don't think that they're gonna have a ward bottom, and you have no reason to get sentries, then maybe you don't need to get sentries. But generally speaking, I'll always try to justify sentries because starting sentries now it's so game winning if you can fuck over the offlane by denying their word. Get a smoke, then get your basic regen. And if I have to get courier, I'll get it. But I want to get 2 extra clarities. I want to get a smoke. Like, there's so many other things. Really, somebody else should be buying the courier. You are position 4. You're not position 5. Earth Spirit is a position 4. So definitely try to get somebody to buy one of the 2. Like, if they got to buy the wards, then that's good for you. Just make sure you get them because you're probably better at warding than the 3K players. But
yeah.
So that's my revised build. If I had to give you that, but I'm gonna keep watching this.
Yeah, I guess it's the dropping the Orb of Venom from my start items, because I always like it for the rune gank.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, and don't get me wrong, it's super valuable there. The problem is, the rune gank, as well as the super early roams, like the level 1 roams, those aren't consistent. You can't guarantee kills on those. Does that make sense? I can't.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't guarantee that they're going to come try to play aggressively, or that our team can play aggressively against them. I can't just be like, it's not like your late game where you just get your BKB and then you can be like, guys, let's go fight, I have BKB. You can't just say, guys, level 1, I have Orb of Venom, let's go fight. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just not consistent enough of a play, and you can always get it from the side shop. That's the big thing, is I can get Orb of Venom from the side shop, I can't get sentries from the side shop, I can't get smoke from the side shop, I can't get wards from the side shop, I can't get any of these other items that I like to start with from the side shop. So I've just got to say, okay, like, fuck Orb of Venom for a bit. I'll get it when I'm ready to go roam, but I want to get level 2 in this safe lane, and I want to deny their vision as early and as good as I possibly can, or as well as I possibly can. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, like, I've actually been skipping my Orb of Venom a lot recently, probably more than I should. I like to get stick a lot in lane if they're doing a duo off lane, so I'll get stick instead of Orb of Venom, and then I like to upgrade the courier as soon as possible. These are all things, I don't know, maybe I'm teaching you to be too much of a bitch support in 3K, but I'm just telling you what I do, and I've been winning games with it. Like, playing a proper support is a lot more important than a lot of people give credit to, and even in solo queue. And I guarantee, if nothing else, you'll get commendations from it if you care about commendations. But if you don't, you'll probably win a lot of games too. Like, it's so underrated how good a proper position 4 or position 5 that knows what they're doing can actually do to a team, and a lot of people underrate it. It's how I got on the 17-game win streak in the first place. Was I just knew what I was doing, and the enemy team didn't. Simply put, if you've like checked, I'm watching your enemy's replay right now, right? Check this out. I'm gonna check this shit out. Okay, so they did just buy their wards, but their vision on the map, if I can check their fog, I don't even think it's that much. The dire. So they have, I mean, like, they didn't even block the pole camp against a Sven. They put a ward on it just to check the ancients, but they didn't block the pole camp. I think that's a mistake. You should at least block it once. I don't know if they did block it once. It's 21 minutes in the game. Maybe they did block it once. But like, they have this Roche ward over their own ancients, which I don't think is doing that much. I'd much prefer, like, that's just I think this is just a poor ward in general that they placed. And like this ward right here, it's not a bad ward. I think this ward's a lot better, but I still think that there's some improvements that can be made on their warding.
Yeah.
And I know it wasn't this good in the early game. I know that in the early game they didn't have a ward bought. You should always buy both wards 100% of the time, and they didn't even buy one of their wards. And then furthermore, that Lion held on to one of his wards for what seemed like the entire game, and he didn't even place it. So it's like they started off with no wards. So if you are already doing a better job supporting than they are, which means your team is at an advantage because you are playing support better than they are. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
It's just not as obvious as if you were like a fucking PA that free farmed for 20 minutes compared to their team, their carry who missed a bunch of free farm in the first 20 minutes, and you came in with a Battle Fury and they didn't. That's the thing that kind of like deters people from supporting and playing it and learning how to do it and playing it well, is that if you play support well, it's just not as noticeable in a very direct way, but it's still very impactful. It's you just can't see the impact initially. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I reckon your team notices it more than the other team. At least.
Absolutely. Yes, I agree completely.
Yeah.
I sort of
Like,
got
the other team doesn't realize what you're doing.
exactly.
But yeah.
Yeah. No, actually, absolutely. You'll see kills that they will not see because you'll see the kills with your wards, you'll see the kills with your counter warding, and they won't be able to see the kills because they don't have the vision. So, that's my rant on that. But watching this, you went first out in pipe. I don't really like that. I wish you had gotten like a stick at the very least. Because against the Zeus, I always get stick. In a team fight, he spams like 5 spells, which is easily a good 5 spell with it's like 90 HP. Like it's always worth it. Stick is 200 gold for like at least 150 HP per team fight. Every team fight, it's super.
Yeah.
I always get a stick on this hero. I think nowadays. And you don't have a TP, and I think you should definitely have smokes now. I don't think there's any excuse for that. It's the mid game. You gotta buy smokes now. I'd buy them all out right now. You have enough gold. Sorry. I cut you.
Oh yeah, sorry. I still don't really buy smokes. It's something I definitely need to do. The Phoenix bought a couple this game, so that was good. But yeah, it wasn't. It's still not something I think about or like let's do a smoke gank right now. That's something that just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Like I know it's probably like 10% of my games where I see something like that happen. Unless it's like Rosh. That's usually the only time someone smokes.
So actually, let me teach you something then, because you probably didn't know this. Smoke is actually worth it to use to place a ward down. And let me. Do you understand that, or should I explain that? Because there's a lot of explanation that could go into that. Like,
I kind of get what you mean.
Yeah.
Well, it's like it's worth the vision, right? And then possibly doing a counter gank afterwards because you got that extra vision.
Yeah. And it's even more than that. If you smoke and ward, nothing that you did was visible, because a ward when you place it gives no vision to the enemy team. You ever played League of Legends?
I actually tried it like earlier this year.
Yeah. Okay. So no, there's nothing wrong with that. In League of Legends, if you place a ward down, the ward is fully visible for a few seconds when you place it down. Does that make sense? So like you place the ward, and then if they see you place it, they can see you place the ward. So even if you're invisible, if you place a ward in that game, they see the ward. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
In Dota, that is not the case. So if you smoke in Dota and you go place 2 wards in their jungle, you, like, boom, just like that. They didn't see any of that, right? None of it. Unless they have sentries, they didn't see shit. So you now have 2 secret wards in their jungle that you can go use for the next 7 minutes to get an easy kill on their carry. And that is why smoking to place wards down on support is such a good, like, God, I love Ice Frog for making smoke in the game. Because it also means that you don't need to have your carry babysit you while you go place a dangerous ward. Does that make sense? Because like if you... How many times have you died placing wards? I've died so many times.
Oh,
it's the worst.
Hundreds. My friend always does it.
Yeah.
It's like his go-to move.
It's... It seems like it sometimes, though, doesn't it? Because and it looks so stupid, too. The enemies, your allies, whenever you die placing wards, always ping the fuck out of you. Because they're like, dude, you were clearly out of position. And you're trying to justify it like, I was just trying to place a ward down. Like, that's my job. But you can't justify it with that because you are out of position. What happens if somebody starts killing me when I place wards is I buy smokes. I don't buy sentries. I do buy sentries, but I mostly buy smokes. Because smokes let you get your wards down safely. And it also means probably that they have wards there and that they're probably about to counter ward. So you want to be intelligent with where you're placing the smoke wards. Smoke wards should be cleverly placed. You can't just plop them down in an obvious spot. You got to cleverly put them in places. You shouldn't block camps with them. You shouldn't place them on the eyeballs on the map, if you know what I mean by that. The eyeballs on the wards. Yeah. Don't place them on those. Place them in areas that do not get counter warded, but still give very good vision. And I should do a ward guide because there's like a lot of really niche areas that you should place wards that you probably have never thought of before, but like they do really good, amazing things for your team. But to keep it simple, like I really think that buying smokes is like a big detriment in your play that you're not doing enough. I can't stress this enough. Don't even focus on the big crazy Roche plays. Like buy a smoke and just go place 2 wards down and see if it impacts your game. See if for the next 7 minutes you get 1 gank on that person, and if it's their carry, that's 100% worth it. That's why you buy smoke, is to get picks. You don't buy smokes to go get crazy team fights. Like, you'll see the 1 and 2 million videos of, like, on Reddit. It'll be like a Smoked Enigma, 5-man Black Hole, 5-man RP, 5-man Ravage, Team Wipe Rampage on the Tidehunter. But don't focus on that. That's not what smoke is for. That's just an added bonus. I hate those videos because it distorts what smoke means. People think that that's all smoke can be used for, and it's not the case at all. Smoke is used primarily for getting picks and placing safe wards. Well, not safe, for placing risky wards that are safe because you use the smoke. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So if you learn nothing else from what I'm saying this entire time, like notice your item. Well, two things: your item build and smokes. Always like just don't. I mean, don't kill yourself for smokes. Like don't delay your boots by like 50 minutes just to get smokes every single time they're up, but it shouldn't even be like that. Smokes are 50 gold. I don't ever buy all three of them at the start of the game, but I definitely buy one, and if I have the cooldown for it, I'll buy another one. If I have the gold for it too, it's only 50 gold. Again, it's like a clarity. It's one last hit. Ask your carry for one last hit, and you got a smoke on the range creep. So I'm gonna
definitely.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue with the replay. I do like the pipe purchase, but I really think you should have a magic one with this. And always have a TP. I've noticed that you only buy one TP when you go back. Always buy two TPs so that when you TP into a lane, you have one extra TP. You can do so many amazing, especially with Earth Spirit. You can do roll TPs, which save your life so much more than you may think. If you roll over a cliff and TP at the same time during the roll, holy fuck, it saves you.
Yeah.
This is more. I'm sorry. This is more of a support like coaching session than it was a Earth Spirit coaching session. But you honestly are playing the. You're playing the hero well. Like there was that play that I talked about mid lane with the Zeus, but mostly you're playing the hero pretty well. You know the combos and stuff. It's just the support thing. Like I think you really got to work on those elements that I said because they'll boost your. I don't want to say boost your gameplay because you probably know what Chong Qual is. Like it'll make you really good. Just doing those really small archaic things. If you start to learn them and understand them, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Nah, it's definitely something. It's like, I know what I'm kind of doing. It's just, there's definitely things I could do more, and that's pointed us, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because it can be common to like what's it called, plateau, when you don't know what the things that you're doing wrong are. Like in some ways, I think I've plateaued, so I definitely want to get coaching from like a higher player. I'm the only person I know that does free coaching. Like, I've never met somebody that charges even less than, like, $5 an hour. Like, I don't want to pay for coaching, you know? I think knowledge... I have this big thing with, like, not wanting to pay for this kind of thing, because at the end of the game, at the end of the day, it's a video game. Like, why can't we all just help each other out, you know? But I understand some people value their time a lot and think that they're worth, like, $100 an hour, like Weehaw. But, I don't know. I'll never charge for coaching. You know, TM... asterisk. Like if I ever blow up on stream and like I got 100 people asking me for coaching at once, I'll never charge for 2 free coaching sessions a day. That's what I promised my stream. I'll always at least do 2 free coaching sessions. I know you don't care. I'm telling the stream this too. But like I'll always do at least 2 free coaching sessions a day. That'll always be the gimmick of my stream, so you can know that I'll never ever try to sell out or whatever. But if I got people constantly asking me for free coaching, I will put a limit on it. And like, you know, if you want to get extra coaching, then maybe you can pay me like $10 a session. But I don't know. Free coaching is like, I don't know why more people don't do it. It's just a video game. It's like an hour of fun. I enjoy this. I enjoy talking to you and coaching. So it's fun for me as it is for you. So it looks like your next option's a blade mill here. I kind of disagree with that. You'll never get any effectiveness out of it from life stealer, and like Zeus, you can make an argument for, and I do think that there's definitely an argument to be made there. The thing is, Zeus likes to initiate fights with his ulti, and I've noticed that whenever I get blade mail against Zeus, all it helps me for is if he's trying to solo focus me. It never helps for his ulti. Yeah, like right there, like he ultied to get another kill on somebody else, and so your blade. Oh shit, Phoenix has an axe. That's cool. I've never. That's so cool.
Yeah, he saved me right. I think first fight might have been right here.
Yeah, it was really cool. I think No, I don't know if Phoenix ulti works on your cooldowns, but I know it works on his.
That was a glorious save.
Huh?
That was a glorious save right there, because I'm the one. I'm pretty much like dying for all the team kills.
Yeah.
And that save was pretty glorious.
Yeah, I think Phoenix Axe could be really underrated. It's not necessarily underrated because there's some elements to it that are bad. But you know, like against,
like you can get your teammates killed.
Yeah, exactly. And like if they have an Ursa, you're probably dying. It just gives them one more incentive to focus the egg. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
against the right comp where they just can't kill the egg, literally, it can be really good. Especially if you have like a. I'm trying to think about the best carries to get it with, but even not a carry, like a support player, saving them is super worth it too. It's an underrated item, and I'd like to see more people get it. I'll say that.
I was gonna ask, like, I got the blade mill because I honestly wasn't sure what to get. So, like, what would you have gotten in this situation?
I would have just gotten, like, I'm kind of a fanboy of drum right now, and it doesn't look like your team has a drum, so I would have gotten it. Like, the Sven doesn't have it. Pudge obviously doesn't have
So
it.
you think it's worth at this point in the game as well?
Yeah, drums are a really powerful item right now. I think drums always worth it, except for like super late game where you have a carry that's like 6 slotted. Even this late in, like the attack speed and movement speed, and just for the cost of value, like you're getting an ultimate orb worth of stats almost, for a very, very sick bargain that also gives you movement speed and attack speed, that helps your team push whenever you need to. Think of drum kind of the same way that you would think of BKB. The later that you get it, it's not necessarily better, but you still conserve the charges on the item, so it's still yeah. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah, definitely.
to put it into comparison, like when you're trying to push high ground, it's not super good because but like if a team fight breaks out, then it's super good. And if you find yourself getting a pick and getting 2 picks or 3 picks and going to push a tower all the way on the other side of the map, it's super good once you get to that side of the map to just pop your drum and kill that tower. You can kill it quicker. And it also can help you push through backdoor protection because it gives your whole team like a freaking hyperstone worth of damage, I think. What? Let me check. I think it's 30 attack speed when you pop it. That's 25 attack speed when you pop it, but then the aura gives another 5. So the item itself gives you 30. Your entire team, it gives all of them 30 attack speed. So that's like insane value when you think about it. It's like a Beastmaster aura that you pop, I guess.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I don't know. It's really good. Drum.
Yeah.
If I'm ever having a trouble with survivability, I'll get drum because it's 9 strength, which equates to like roughly 150 health, I think, or 160. It's a lot of extra health. It basically mitigates a nuke from Zeus, like a Q nuke. It's like 1 extra. It's health. It's your health. It's armor too. It's super good.
Yeah. Do you build Ags much anymore?
No.
Or, like, did you?
No, I'm not.
Like, the only times I get Ags is when I'm already winning, because
Yep.
it's just fun.
Yeah, that's it.
But
I went immortal earlier today. I went like 9-1-15 or some shit like that. It was crazy. They never killed me because I had an Omni Knight that always repelled me, and I just had such insane team fight. I went Ags Aether, and then I can't remember what else I had. I had like a mech or some shit, but I honestly regretted it. Like, Ags is good for captain's mode. If you're coordinating with 5 other people, Ags is really good. But if you don't know your teammates, they don't know what your Ags does. And honestly, like, getting it for the pull just isn't worth it, I don't think. Spending 4,200 gold for the pull is just... Like, the ult is situationally really good, but if you're trying to use it to catch somebody else out and then pull them and kick them into your team will never know what's going on, and they'll always be confused.
Yeah.
I've never gotten one sick play where I used to get Axe a lot, even ironically, when it was technically worse because it didn't give you the pull, it just gave you the enchant remnant. I used to get Axe so many times, but I never got one of those sick, like, stone, pull, kick into my team plays, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember doing that once, and my team had no clue, and they just went high ground without me, and I was left fighting the carry by myself.
Yeah. Yeah, and that happens all too often. Or my personal,
Yeah.
I mean, I have gotten sick plays where I'll use the enchant remnant on their carry, and then I'll kick them out of the fight. But it's unreliable to assume that they won't have BKB. Like, they'll probably have BKB, and by the time you enchant remnant them, they'll have done their damage, and it just won't be relevant. It's most useful against like supports that have really big impact team fight abilities like Witch Doctor. But in that case, you just silence them anyways. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would get it in a captain's mode game where I drafted a team around it though. So don't think that I'm saying Axe is bad. I'm just saying in solo queue or even like random draft right now, I don't think you should get Axe. I think a much better item to get is sorry.
Is it worth it just for the extra stone in a fight? Because sometimes I've used it once where there's 2 guys on me. I'll turn one of them to stone, and I'll kick pull the other guy.
Yeah,
and I've gotten a kill off that.
That's definitely
But,
cute. Yeah.
I mean,
sorry.
Yeah, it's a situational thing, right? I guess.
Very situational, yeah. But it is cute as fuck. And I will say that, yeah, the extra stone is nice. If you're concerned for, like, if you're strapped for stones always, Octarine could be considered as a super late game buy. But, that's cheap. Like, you want to
I've
talk...
already done that when I've been Koro Spirit.
Yep.
So.
That's usually when it happens, too. I know, you probably...